My name is David Joshua Tungle, a safety analytics specialist specializing in aviation safety data analytics, infrastructure, and risk management. I translate complex operational data into evidence-based workflows, visualizations, and actionable risk strategies and insights teams can actually use. This presentation is a live example, a deep dive analysis of undeclared dangerous goods, focusing on workforce controls and fatigue risk management, aiming to reduce our risk profile from 3B to 2C using 5 structured methodologies: HIRAC, bowtie, fault tree, gap analysis, and Pareto. Every finding is evidence-based. Every action is traceable. Let's get into it. Our current risk is 3B, with the critical complication being minimal staffing, which cripples fatigue management, supervision, and SOP enforcement. This exposure carries 2 hazardous consequences. We aim for a target of 2C by immediately assessing staffing needs and deploying a fatigue risk management system by Q3. The Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Control, or HIRAC, establishes our baseline. The current 3B risk requires immediate, targeted intervention on human factors to reach the acceptable 2C threshold. This demands prioritizing both preventative barriers, like checklists, and recovery barriers, such as fire suppression equipment. Our bowtie analysis reveals that staffing inadequacy is a critical point of failure, negatively impacting active supervision and SOP compliance. We have 4 out of 9 prevention barriers rated low or minimal, which forces us to rely heavily on recovery barriers to prevent hazardous consequences, such as a cargo hold fire or structural damage. The fault tree analysis highlights that personnel procedure failures, at a probability of 0.03, are the highest probability path to an undeclared dangerous goods event. This is primarily driven by checklist bypass behaviors. The presence of AND gates means that fixing procedural compliance can break the chain of events. The gap analysis translates barrier failures into operational needs. The high frequency of fatigue, combined with ineffective scheduling controls, requires us to reduce fatigue occurrences to remote via a data-driven fatigue risk management system. This includes auditing shift schedules and deploying new FRMS software by Q3. Our Pareto analysis uses the 80/20 rule to focus on the vital few issues. Staffing, fatigue, supervision, and SOP compliance drive 81.6% of the total risk. Executing the 4 recommended actions, including immediate staffing assessment and FRMS deployment, will neutralize the undeclared dangerous goods threat profile and achieve our 3B to 2C target. In summary, our analysis identified staffing inadequacies and fatigue as vital drivers, accounting for over 81% of the risk. The critical failure is inadequate staffing, which must be resolved to mitigate the high vulnerability to hazardous events. Our actions include staffing assessment, deploying FRMS software, enforcing supervision standards, and maintaining recovery barriers by Q3. The situation involves processing thousands of cargo units daily, where workforce readiness and screening are essential safeguards. The complication is that a critical lack of minimal staffing is driving fatigue and SOP non-compliance. The resolution requires immediate actions to elevate workforce capacity, reinforce supervision, and reach the target risk state of 2C. Again, I'm David, a safety data architect with 3+ years of transforming complex operational data into decisions that reduce real-world risk. The methodologies showcased throughout this portfolio, using Python, SQL, Tableau, and a 5-tool SMS framework, reflect the same analytical approach I bring to every organization I support. To learn more, connect with me on LinkedIn. Safety doesn't wait, and neither should the conversation. Let's build something safer together.